And let's try this again. Hear me, O great gods of streaming. Make this software work. Let's see. It still doesn't say whether we are live or not.
We're still offline. Oh, no, we're live.
Alright, legit.
We got it.
Alright, good. Now, it still says we're dropping 40% of frames, so I'm gonna have to ask for a quality check from everybody. Let's see here. But regardless, let's see if I can start doing stuff. Welcome to the Zephyr Workshop Weekly Technical Difficulties. Need now Zephyr Workshop is now hiring for a minister of streams. If you know how to make Twitch do the thing, we need you. And let's try that. 37% of frames. I forget what the average was last week. It might actually be fine. So this week we are going to do some more art. And that means digging out some of the original art from the Robot Picture Compendium. The masterful singular Photoshop file where we keep all of our art for AEGIS. As I take you along this journey tonight, know that I am host Breeze Grigus, designer of AEGIS. I am here with Sarah Como, our Chief Operations Officer at Zephyr Workshop.
Hello.
And Jesse Clark, who is then the head balance guy for AEGIS, is also here, and he is playing Codename Steam.
It's a pretty cool game. Shout out to Codename Steam and its awesomeness. More people should probably play it.
Shout out to Codename Steam.
By the same dudes who made Fire Emblem, which is pretty cool. You know, you just as little Fire Emblem-y, so.
Look forward to our board game adaptation of Code Games Team coming out.
Can we?
Codename Steam, yeah, we're gonna be making a board game adaptation of Codename Steam, released early 2017. Each piece comes with its own tiny pressurized canister of steam, and we sell extra steam in expansion packs. Please do not drop the pieces to the game, or we are not liable for the burns that you may receive.
That'd be cool.
Click. Alright, let's see. Now I check. Let's see. How is quality?
It's hanging in there.
Alright, good. So, here we have ART IZA-100. Now, perhaps the most difficult thing about this robot is that it's named the IZA-100, but it belongs to a character named IZA. And
What is that?
That's so I think about this a lot because every time I come across this, it actually kind of annoys me. But I remembered that we picked Iza as the robot name because it combines with other robots, specifically the Esper. And Esper Iza sounds way cooler than Esper Ixa. So why don't we rename Ixa to Iza? I guess that is something we could do. But Ixa is a much more original and cool name. So I'm just going to refer to the idea that the name Iza comes from some lore that is not revealed about the character. And there it is. Ixa's dead sister Iza, who used to be the prime possessor.
Maybe just revealed the lore that was supposed to not be revealed.
Totally unrevealed lore. But yeah. So it's the IZA-100, possibly named after somebody named Iza. Piloted by Ixa.
We're getting the sounds cutting in and out a little, but it mostly sounds like we're using push to talk. So it's not the worst.
Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can adjust the audio. I put the mic down a wee bit.
You want to call out from last week? Corn has reminded, please don't send bees to him. As a continuation from last week.
Everybody send bees to what's Kettle's address? I'm gonna write it on the canvas.
I don't know his address.
Oh, darn. Well,
somewhere in Worcester.
Just send a canister of bees with the addressed envelope, Worcester, Massachusetts, and see where it ends up. Perhaps choose a random number and a random word and stick the word street at the end, and send it to Worcester. Canister of bees. You have a 1 in 1 million chance of hitting Kettle's house, and that's something that, pretty good odds. Pretty solid payoff.
You have a 1 in 100 chance?
1 in 1 million chance of hitting the exact house that Kettle lives in.
Isn't there also a chance that they'll hit us?
That's okay. I always want to be a beekeeper, so I'm down.
Send bees to 95 Prescott Street.
Don't do that.
Zephyr Workshop offices could use honey.
Kettle is happy that you don't remember where he lives.
Send bees to... Let's see. So we have this IZA-100. This art, it's old.
How old is it?
It's from like 2013 old.
That is old.
It is one of the first robots ever drawn, in fact. And it actually looks not even very good next to its other evolved version, the Esper IZA, which I will actually pull over for reference.
I'm so glad you used the word evolved.
Totally evolved. Our game is about robot Pokemon, man.
It is. I do like the new Esper IZA art. It looks pretty good.
No one talks about the old Esper IZA art.
Yes, correct.
So let's see. Here's Esper IZA. Now the funny thing is, she totally has like translucent white wings that don't show up on this white canvas. It's fine because all I need is her general robot design. So this art is from like 2014 or something.
Yeah.
I think we did it before we self-published the first time.
Yeah, it was redone like very shortly before we self-published the first time. So it's about in line with a lot of other robot art in the game. It was still done reasonably quickly, but we're gonna use, so it's good enough and the design is good enough. And actually that's now bothering me, so I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna do this. Now the real question is, why are we redrawing IZA-100? And the answer is because during the Kickstarter, we had a bunch of social media goals that we did end up achieving. And those social media goals involved redrawing these commander arts for the old ones. So, and I think they could definitely use a facelift. After this, the only really old art in the game will be for a small handful of other robots, but the main one that I want to address is the last piece of old commander art, which would be at Walls. And his like sword wing jet plane.
You said the ARC 150, but
The ARC 150 is being done by someone else.
that's true, it is. I forgot.
Not
And it looks
myself. Okay, let's see here. So now we're gonna go through the painstaking process of watching me learn how to draw again, and it's gonna be great. Let's see. What if I should put on some sweet Ghibli jazz? I think I'm gonna put on some sweet Ghibli jazz.
It doesn't chug.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
I did enjoy the jazz. It was.
So yeah, if the computer shugs, I'll just totally shut it off. But alright, so what are the aspects of the IZA-100 here? So we have this kind of bug. It's a kind of bug-like thing. It has 4 appendages, like a lot of eye types, and it has a large body. And a kind of ominous-looking web head or a spider. They're kind of like just like it kind of looks like a bug. And it has like some antennas too. It was one of the very first eye types ever drawn. And it kind of had a lot of the conventions for what I was thinking about eye types would look like at the time. So it came before the idea that a lot of eye types had like this kind of sinewy stuff. Instead, IZA-100's legs are like bendy straws. We might be getting rid of the bendy straws. Straws.
I'm a big fan of bendy straws.
So we might be getting rid of the bendy straws.
I like the blue in the legs now. It looks cool. It breaks it up nice.
Yeah. When we first started, Commander robots were allowed to have some extra colors in them that teased a little bit at what they combined into. So a lot of the robots are like monochromatic purple with like some gray bits, but Ixa has a little bit of blue in there. So this Chrome started. It has YouTube. Now where'd my Ghibli jazz at? I could just listen to Hayao Miyazaki talk about how anime is a mistake in the background. Alright, there we are. We are now in the maximum chill zone. Welcome.
Chokan has suggested that the
Who the
Aiza
hell is
will have
Yamel
a hard
Chokan?
time walking in the desert with his spindly legs.
She's really, really bad at desert combat.
It's not really a combat robot, right? It's more.
I think
more
when
tactical than that.
I think when Aiza goes through the desert, she probably combines into Esper Aiza and floats. Because otherwise, yeah, she would just sink into the desert. Or maybe because her legs are so long, she's actually really, really good at walking through the desert, like a camel.
That's not.
Camels have really long legs.
They have super flat.
That's not how camels work.
What do you mean it's not how camels work? Are you telling me they all? I mean, they also.
Camel leg length is not directly correlated with a desert walking proficiency. Yeah.
I think that. So water's buoyant, right? And camels keep water in one of their humps. So maybe that is what keeps them afloat.
That's not how water works either.
That's totally what keeps camels afloat. So maybe actually the new Aiza will be based on a camel. So give it really long legs, and maybe we'll give it a shape like this, and maybe we'll make it spit.
Yamel Chokan suggests that the Ixa will be like walking on the beach with high heels.
I mean,
Who doesn't?
I not only do I do that all the time, I see other people do that all the time. I think that walking on the beach with high heels is a very commonly expected thing, much like going to fancy dinner parties in sandals. It's just what you do. Let's see, so...
We were just talking about your choice of music, and the suggestions come up that if you play copyrighted music while using the recorded stream, it'll get muted, and then you can trash talk people apparently, and then we'll
Yeah, I want to assume that this isn't going to be picked up because it's like instrumental. I know if you play anything that's really obviously like top 40s or something, but this is like, I don't even know who this is by. It's like from a YouTube channel that just has really long jazz remixes of things, so I wonder if it's like proprietary from like a YouTuber. Let me think. So, different things. I actually wish I could dig up the piece of art that originally inspired IZA-100, because it is totally one of Yimel Cho-chan's art in the chat. Way back when we first started AEGIS and AEGIS had no art, we had it submitted to the Master G Game Challenge, and we had Yimel Cho-can do some art in a pinch. And one of the I think the coolest piece that she did was the eye type, and it kind of had like this silhouette where it had really long legs, and it had like some crazy eyes going on, and it had like a monocle. It had like, yeah, but the idea like the little springies coming off the sides was totally from that art. And I think, yeah, the overall shape, because it was like a big spider thing. I did not.
She could find it.
Yeah, totally find it and then ping it to me and I'll put it up. Because it's like sitting in one of my folders, but I don't like to dig through my folders on stream. And I would normally have the stream just connected to Photoshop, but last week we had like weird troubles with that. So now it's just like literally just capturing my whole screen. One of the we had a person who was doing an art test for us a long time ago, like last year-ish, when I wanted to have some art redone, and she actually drew the.
You should be pinging the thing.
She actually drew Iza's robot. It looked kind of like a cross between an onion and a jellyfish, and she put like 2 eyes on it like this, and it was really interesting looking. It was a little too much of a jump-off interpretation, but my audio quality is making Joey cry. What does that mean? Let's see. What be your issue, Joe? Whoever is having trouble with her audio, I apologize, and I say to refresh the page until it works. It's obviously the best way to do it. We have like some kind of ideas going on here. One of the cooler things is that there's going to be a level 3 IZA at some point. We have like a sketch for it. So I want the evolution from IZA to Esper IZA to the level 3 feel to look very natural. Let's do that. I wonder if I'm on the same layer as... Yeah, okay. Let's shrink you guys down. Over there. Let's turn on key remapper so I can use Alt and Shift while I draw. Erase. Dun, 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 dun. Remember, Sarah is manning the chat this week, so if anyone if you out there have remarks about anything or questions or general banter, she will be your watchful protector. So let's see.
A couple people hosting us again. Thank you very much. The 3-2's returned.
Oh,
Good to see you again, and thank you again for hosting us. We appreciate it.
3-2 is my boy.
And then Yamel Chelican has posted the art she did in the chat, so check it out.
Oh my god.
It looks pretty cool.
I can't believe you found that. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I believe the IZA, sorry, is the cool looking, I don't know, weird leggy spoopy thing. It's really cool.
I'll make this a little bit more scorpion or something. Let's see. Gotta get that silhouette down. Basically, it could end up looking very similar to the last one, but the overall art quality would be better. It'll be kind of like last week, or maybe I'll go with something similar to what we're looking at, but yeah, it'll just look better overall. But I might be able to do something cool with this thing right here. So like, there are a few different aspects to the IZA-100. I guess there aren't really. There are these antenna things. There are these antenna things right here that are basically just antennas because I-types have antennas. She uses them for, I would assume, long-range communication and hacking and jamming and stuff. But the main aspect of a robot is this like little protrusion on top. And the idea is that it slides up and down. And when it goes up, it'll actually release tons and tons of spores. And that's what her main attack is, the jamming spores. So like, her main body is almost like a canister of like these little light jamming particles or whatever, and she opens up and it goes at a target. And it goes far away, like, it can go like over stuff and goes far away like a cloud. So that's like one of the most important aspects of the robot. All faction-aligned I-type robots have the same faceplate that has the eye crest with the 5 eyes, circle in the middle, and then 4 lines across it. So you'll see that on a few different I-type robots. So that's important. But other than that, I'm not incredibly married to the design. Other than that, if I look at ART IZA has like these super long leggies. So I kind of probably have to do super long leggies on this too.
I rather like the kind of spider feel you have in the new silhouette. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see if we can do this elegant, tall, 4-legged spider. Elegance. Maybe we'll give her a 2-jointed dealie. Dun 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 dun. And so like a leg right here be an idea, and a leg right here. Maybe she'll have ankles, which is not something commonly found in AEGIS robots. Ankles, mother. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. What does it mean? So we're like,
Two says elegance.
elegance. If I make its body too much like this, and too like bulky, stoic-y, and it kind of looks like a walking potato, and a lot of our robots kind of look like walking potatoes. So I want to keep this vertical thing. I am a walking potato.
Where I thought to suggest elegance with a top hat or a pretty dress.
I wonder how close to a top hat I could get away with giving the IZA-100. Top hat attachment. Oh, I'm actually underneath. Whoops.
Top hat would be pretty sweet. That's where the spores come from, obviously.
It's true. Let's see, so yeah, we're gonna give Iza a top hat like this. This is what you tune in for. Sounds like Jesse is getting owned in Codename Steam. Absolutely not. Yeah, that's why you're getting owned.
That's not true.
Dude.
Dark Souls?
Actually, it's a complete lie. I remember when you were playing Fire Emblem Awakening on hard.
Oh, that wasn't on hard. That was on.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I just remember you're just like, look at this crap. I had to replay the first 4 turns 80 times.
Yeah, it was like Blind RNG. It gets a lot easier
It's really funny.
Because you just have to, at some point, you basically have to like, go, okay, I'm going to assume that this is going to
Do, 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 do,
I think the hat on the IZA-100 is the Kickstarter exclusive.
Get classy
That is what
Ixa.
email Chopan suggests.
Hats, baby.
You could obviously put hats on all the robots. That can
the
be.
top hat edition.
I think
Where we
a
just put a really badly photoshopped top hat.
Yeah.
no, actually, well, no. Here's an idea. How about for the new Kickstarter, we get for a $10 add-on, we give you a sticker sheet of hats that are nicely, properly sized for our cards, and you can put the stickers. We'll make a custom. Well, yeah. How about that? How about that for a stretch goal? We'll have a custom sticker sheet made that has hats on it that will fit on a plethora of robots in our game, and that will be like the $80,000 stretch goal. $80,000 stretch goal. The only stretch goal will be hat stickers for the robot cards. Finally, we finally cracked it, boys. We got that's the secret to Aegis' success. Hat stickers.
The 3-2 asks, when you guys design robots, what's the general goal you go with? Start humanoid and break it down, or start with the individual bots and figure out how they can stick together?
It generally goes. So yeah, the nice art process. We have like the style guide that I thought up for the 5 classes. I'll kind of have like their rules that I go by. Like all A types are. Why did I just draw a hat?
Because Kickstarter hat edition.
All A types are humanoid. All E types kind of have like turbines and don't have necks. They usually just have bodies, and they look kind of like airships. And they usually have like little machine guns or bombs or something, but they look more like flying drones. G types can have 2 legs or 4 legs. But the one thing they all have in common is they usually all have really big oversized heads and big oversized eyes. And some kind of cannon or missile weaponry on there. When they have limbs, they are not designed to look mobile. They'll usually be like these weird little, almost like construction robot type of things. Sometimes they definitely look like birds, like they hop around. They don't have really graceful struts. They hop around like giant birds.
Or giant hamsters.
Giant hamsters.
Hamsters don't.
They'll waddle.
I suppose.
Yeah, like all the G types that have legs that are quadrupedal always have these little hamster legs. They have these little hinges and they waddle around. And then I types get pretty variable, but they are obviously all purple. They have distinct faces. A lot of them have this mask motif going on, where they don't really have big eyes. They have these little circle eyes that are a little bit based on Ghost in the Shell. But other ones kind of have more G-type features, where they'll have a large eye face like this, and they'll have multiple eyes. And then one motif that I go with on a lot of eye types is that the number 4. So they'll have 4 eyes, or 4 antennas, or 4 legs, or something. That's just kind of something that I figured out. The tentacle robots have 4 tentacles. And then S types are made to not have heads. In fact, yeah, they'll usually have eyes or vents or something that can maybe look like a face. But S types are usually just these large forms that have 2 legs. They could theoretically have 4 legs, but I'm worried that they're going to end up looking a little bit more too much like G types. Because it's very important that all 5 classes look very different, because at the core, the main idea of the game is that all of the robots, all the base level robots look like components. And that's what allows us to make cool looking combined robots, is because then I know what a G type, I know what a GS type will look like, because it'll be alright, I'll look at the robot that's directly based off of, like, an SSM or something. And then I will be able to kind of... Because of the rules that we established for the basic robots, I'll know what a GS type looks like. It'll have, like, bolts and rivets and big pieces of metal on it, like a G-type would. But it'll also be more sleek and, like, iPod looking, like an S-type would. And then it'll have, like, a certain number of legs and a certain type of weapon, and overall, like, type of aesthetic. So, like, for this, IZA mainly looks like this because she was one of the first I-types made, and a lot of the other I-types were based on her, actually. But in terms of each individual robot, it'll come from all sorts of requirements. Sometimes we design the robot first, like the card and what it does, and then I'll have to, like, retrofit art to it. Like, one of the new AB robots has, like, a grab thing that lets you move other robots around. So when we came to make art for it, it needed to look like an AB, which is a big boxy red robot. But I needed to make sure the art represented that it grabbed guys and threw them around, so one of its arms is like an accordion with a claw at the end. Do concept art. So that's... And, like, designing combined robots is sometimes, I think designing the combined robots is actually much harder. Or is it much easier? There are different challenges. I don't think there's an easy or a hard. But, in some ways, when I make a combined robot, I can play with it more and be much looser with the design, because I can say, like, it's humanoid, therefore it's an A-type, done. And then I can have it kind of be any proportion that I want, if it's not based on any previous A-type. But if it's like an AGS type, like Getsum is, then it would have to be big and bulky and represent that there's no agile parts to it whatsoever. Oh, God.
The other thing about higher level robots is that oftentimes they're based off of one of the lower level robots that make that, like the air or something like that, and so it lets you get the aesthetic more based off of where it came from. So you can
yeah, so like the Ender 5000, it kind of its face is kind of based off the Ender 100s. Its body, its like main torso piece, is basically an Ender 100. So that's Control T, transform.
Firefox likes the Kickstarter add-on with hats and says they would get it.
Good,
Going
good.
back to that.
Need the hat sticker sheets really bad.
Seems like a pretty sweet idea. I'm a big fan of stickers. Especially if all the robots like our sleeve or something, you can just stick the stickers on them and don't have to worry about sticking it on the card. Or just stick it on the card, because obviously you want your robots to have hats.
It's true.
It's actually, I have a Maraf magic card. I'm kind of tangenting. But I met the artist at Gen Con and asked him to draw a gangster hat and machine gun and mustache on the Maraf. So I'm a fan of hats.
I wonder if that was like one of the weirder requests he's got all day.
I don't know.
probably not.
Honestly.
Right, it's some pretty weird stuff. I remember, this is more of a tangent, hearing a story once where someone would talk to a magic artist and they always wanted, I don't know the name of the card, it was like Goblin Balloon Brigade or something. And every time they would go to a convention, they're like, you must draw me a Goblin Balloon Brigade, thank you, on my playing mat. And like, he'd buy a new playing mat every single convention this artist was at and request the same art every single time.
That's how you make friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty memorable. I don't remember
That's
anything about the guy's name or anything, but I remember his story, because I'm like, that's a pretty cool story.
That's a good conversation piece.
It really is.
It's kind of like how we made We made pretty good friends with Jerry from Penny Arcade because I would call him Tim Buckley every year for almost 4 years until he was finally like, "Who are you?" And it's I was memorable out of the 100,000 people at that convention. That's how I made myself memorable. It always pays off to be memorable, unless you want to indulge in a life of crime, and then it's not good to be memorable.
Ooh, the stream button? I don't know if I hit pause or if the stream is not done. We're good.
Okay.
There was also the time that we went to PAX and got the designer of Elixir of Immortality and Gideon to sign
Oh, that was good.
for us.
I mean, I know that guy. He works around here now. I've been trying to get him onto a design panel at PAX. He doesn't answer my emails. But yeah, he's so that was also really cool because we didn't even get that wasn't even the artist for Gideon. It was the guy who designed the mechanics for Gideon.
It was the guy who worked on Gideon. We were like, oh man, you don't understand, but he also worked on Elixir of Immortality, and both of those are.
I want those signed in Elixir of Immortalities. Where are they? Dig them up.
Why would I give them to you? They're fine.
Dig them up.
I have them.
Where are they?
They're in my collection. Like they're out. They're specifically. I could probably find them if I needed.
Oh, that's cool.
Um,
I know, man. That's a solid piece to have.
yeah, that's what I have.
So this is my design. Let's get more crazy. Let's start filling in. Hello, welcome to Fengshu Design Studio. This is Breeze Grace, and I'm going to be filling in the white space of this page with different silhouettes, and they're going to get progressively weirder. And here's one where here's one if IXA were doing like the Michael Jackson like lean, and then with a weirder head shape. Let's go down a size in brushes, and we'll get some more. Everyone. Cool. Actually, I find this to be the most fun part of the stream.
Who likes the potato robot Kickstarter exclusive idea as well?
Potatoes?
That we talked about forever ago when
Yeah.
Or the Isa looked like a potato.
I wonder what happened. What would the let's play a game right here. What would the IZA-100 look like if it were sitting at the edge of a cliff and staring up at the starry sky? Is this a yeah, so like there would be 2 legs back here like this, and then maybe the other 2 legs would just be dangling like this. Here's 1 leg and here's another leg, and then
The 3-2 also says, oh hey, Tim Buckley guy grabs chair.
Maybe it's reaching for that 1 star that we can all never reach, but we really want. Make this. Here's existential IZA-100. It's like here, maybe it's trying to project its own stars to that star. I'm having too much fun.
Aw, that's too cute to be menacing. Can't be the prime possessor's robot. Look how cute it is.
Isn't that totally fine? We're supposed to steal things, not to scare you.
I guess.
She's trying to.
Either be scared or.
Maybe.
I guess you could have things stolen from you by something cheap elsewhere. This is the way the robot should go.
Maybe Ixa's ultimate goal is that she's not trying to steal for her empire. She's trying to steal her dreams back because she forgot them long ago. You're not seeing this picture.
It's a really good picture.
And let's see what. And since it has like 5 eyes, what would an IZA-100 look like if it were angry?
Can it have 2 eyes that are angry eyebrows?
Yeah, like let's make IZA-100's head, and let's have there's like a really angry face, followed by another really angry eye, and maybe another eyes like that. And maybe its bottom eye actually looks more like a frown. And so maybe that's the, there's the anime vein. And so yeah, there maybe it's shaking its tentacle at you. There it is. Welcome to Zephyr Workshop Art Stream, where you can watch me teach myself that I actually once really enjoyed drawing. Let's see here. Alright, so let's resize some of these goons so I can shift. And control transform. More room. But yeah, more thumbnails now that I'm being a little bit more creative. This ART IZA-100 is going to be the best piece of art in the entire game. I promise. In the entire game. Forget Arc Infinity. Forget the really good cover art that I didn't do. This will be the magnum opus. Are you sure? Are you positive? And like always, have to make sure it looks good inside the card itself, because Ix's robot is very vertical. So I was talking last week about how Izzy-4000 is really vertical because he's like this tall, as opposed to like Getsum, who's probably like this tall. And that doesn't look really good when you have a rectangular card frame. So let's try. Maybe Ix's robot has to go fast. Gotta go fast?
Real fast.
Like a stink bug. And then alright, let's see. Getting some sweet correspondence by... Still working, I think I mentioned last week that one of our cooler plans for the next Kickstarter is that we're working on some possible cross-promotions in some way, shape, or form with other indie robot games. And so that's going pretty decently. We got some responses back today from some very cool people. I sent out the rest of the messages earlier today for the inquiries. And if you know any indie robot games that we don't have on our list, feel free to bring them to my attention, because I love indie robot games. I would probably buy it. And then also ask if they want to be a robot in AEGIS. What would IZA-100 look like if it were just getting out of the shower, but the GMD-100 is there?
Slightly unrelated, what kind of room is that room? The 3-2 would like to know, what would the Isa look like if it was singing a Disney-esque song about wanting more? It depends. Is it the eagle wanting more, like wanting to take over everything like Scar and Lion King, or is it singing about wanting more to like become a better robot and ascend? I think that...
What's a really bad robot in the game that wants to be more than it is? Yeah, what's a robot that you think sings to itself at night about wanting to be?
The GON 100.
Aww.
The GON 100 doesn't need more, it gets all the attention by nature.
Yeah,
It
but
does.
it doesn't ever get to do anything except get hit.
That's true.
All of it.
The GON 100 is the Cinderella.
A 3-2 wants a princess song for the Isa 100. That's what the song would be about for more. What would it look like?
Let's see. So if we put it to the tune of Let It Go, I guess the IZA-100 song would be like jamming spores, jamming spores.
Books for everyone.
Actually, I think it'd be pretty cool if we pictured the IZA-100 doing pirouettes. So let's see if...
Can it kick people with its long legs?
Oh!
Like, please? Can that be a thing?
That's
that
not
it
a
does?
that's not a horrible idea.
Like, oh my god, that's
I think if
amazing.
the Ender 100, the Ender 5000 can have the Ender Buster kick, I think the level 3 IZA will also have some sort of stupid kick.
Pirouetting kick.
Pirouette kick.
Spores never bothered me anyway. The 3-2, hopefully. Ads, thank you, the 3-2.
Evasion never bothered me anyway. So let's see. Yeah, so here's the IZA-100 doing a pirouette.
Oh, what's happening?
Something with a little musical note guy. Alright, let's see here. Let's see, can I operate two devices at the same time so I can share this? Is Melonwolf still here? Let's see. Zoom. Open. So, give me more little suggestions. Like, let's do the singing and dancing as a 100. Maybe.
The 3-2 likes the pirouetting as a magical.
That's great.
What would the eyes look like if it was sneaking up on someone to steal some secrets?
Oh, like
Would it,
the
like-
like the thing that it's supposed to be able to do.
Would it be like Pink Panther tiptoeing around or something? Or would it be like,
Obviously.
I don't know.
Where am I on?
Don't the spore, doesn't it just use the spores in order to steal the secrets? I think the IZA itself was terribly stealthy. I thought it just sent in like
I don't
Maybe
know.
it-
a network of spies to handle things.
I guess, yeah, because the IZA-100 is, I guess, most adept at hiding behind walls.
Yeah.
This is true. Well,
And
that's
so-
sneaky, kind of.
And so, like, here's the IZA-100 hiding behind the wall, and then doing little sparkles. Little sparkles. And then they would hit this here. Arc 100. It's Batman head. It's sword head. And then just be like, Vun. Alright. Alright, let's see if we can get... I think I'm warmed up. So let's get rid of this junk. And go up and get some of that. Let's do Control T to transform. Tiny IZA-100, you will be my muse, my flame. What does it look like if it were a Sanikin? Let's see. Rough size of our flame. Just like that. Let's keep that in mind. I'll usually have some kind of
bunch of arty stuff. He's super cool.
Yeah, let's tune down the music a little bit. Let's see, let me know how that sounds. John Elliott? Who is
Yeah.
John Elliott?
What have you been doing? I haven't seen you around in a long time, but I also haven't been into Boston for networking things in a really long time.
John Elliott.
So that makes sense why I haven't seen you around.
Yeah, that's cool.
He does a
Do I
whole
know
bunch
this
of
guy?
super cool. Yeah, you met him before.
Pretty sure I know this
Yeah,
guy.
he was doing stuff.
Show
with
me a picture.
Game Collective.
Ah, I see. Very good, very good. Hello, sir. Now I have to draw in front of that? God, I'm just here to draw cartoon robots, man. I don't know how to draw Boba Fett.
Cartoon robots are pretty legit, though.
Let's see here. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, I just did a whole bunch of sketches of a spider robot doing
Physics
pirouettes.
was a little loud and it didn't really change.
That's weird. Oh, I know why. Because you're not listening to it through my desktop audio. You're listening to it because it's coming out of my speakers, then re-entering my mic.
Is this a little bit better? One would
Yeah.
hope.
There we go. That makes sense. And so, I have to say that. Click.
I don't know how much you heard of me, John, but I was just saying it's been a while. Good to see you here in the stream, which is super awesome. I haven't made it to Boston in forever, so I haven't been to any networking things. So I was just wondering how you're doing, what's up, stuff like that. We're still doing that robot thing, which is awesome.
That robot thing.
That robot thing.
Something like that.
One of the best things.
That one. There are two robot things now. Cough.
This is true.
But we're doing that one robot thing right now.
This is true. We are doing the one robot thing, the
We're not
main
doing
thing.
that two robot
Maybe I will.
This is the mic can go up some, the music can still drop a little bit more. But if the mic goes up, it might.
thing. Well,
Technically, if I put the mic up, then the music will also go
Oh,
up.
yeah, that's true.
So let's see
we can
here.
probably tweak that.
Mm,
We can probably
click. There it goes.
Oh, he's got more spooky stuff. I want to see spooky stuff. Please send it my way.
More spooky
I
stuff,
love
you
spooky
say.
stuff.
Jesse's getting owned in codename Steam.
I just trusted the thing that was like, this will do the 3D image. And it did the 2D image. And I was like, oh, my plan was bad. Because I assumed that the 3D image we had.
Hey Jesse, can you feed me one of your pieces of chicken?
No,
Baby bird it to me.
I'm not doing that.
I think it should be alright. Well, unless he says something.
No, sound seems good now.
Okay, did he say? Okay, cool.
Yeah, Red Fox said it's a good level.
Okay, it's better than it should be, okay.
First I thought he meant like game level, and I was like, there's no game levels here. Oh, music level.
It's a good level.
One
Ah.
of the things I shouldn't have said out loud because now I just seem a little silly, but that's okay. I said it anyways.
Let's see. Tim and Eric's awesome show. Great job. So we're doing some kind of cool.
Are you working on any games recently, John, or just mostly art stuffs?
Video. Oh, that's great. Let's see.
We've been making some new games. Things are in the works, which is pretty cool.
Why am I on this layer. What is this layer?
Oh man.
I'm confused.
I shouldn't stray too much into gamey talk though. This is an art stream. That's
No,
cool.
that's fine. We were talking about bees last week.
That's true. We were talking about bees for a really long time last week.
We were distinctly
Oops.
talking about bees for a really long time. There we go.
Also, super slouching. Let's sit up properly like a human being. There we go. Yeah, it's a little necessary. I guess my lungs work a little better if I sit up, so I can breathe a little bit better.
That's also
Or something. What? Lungs aren't necessary?
Eating isn't necessary.
I
Breathing
wish.
isn't necessary.
Eating is so expensive.
not necessarily.
All you have to do is eat gruel. And
That'll cost you money still.
I guess you could also eat other people. They're in
Well,
abundance.
You could eat people, you could
You could
vermin.
eat people, eat vermin.
Well, you know. There's some options. I'm not saying you have to, I'm just saying there's options for the fiscally responsible.
Welcome to the Zephyr Workshop weekly stream where we give you life tips and advice for
How to eat on a budget.
how to eat on a budget. Number one, that guy Larry, you don't like him? Eat him.
Taco Bell forever. Which is maybe similar to
Still
eating
more
Larry.
expensive.
Similar to eating, don't worry, if you're not going to eat Larry, he'll be repurposed into Taco Bell brand tacos anyway. And maybe if Larry were a more likable person, he wouldn't be turned into a Gordita Crunch.
Man, I really want Taco Bell.
I could go for...
Taco Bell?
There's like a...
There's no such thing as I could go for.
That's
No,
not
I was
true.
not about to say I could go for Taco Bell. I'm not like that.
What does that mean? Not like that.
I'm not like that. I always forget there's like a Mexicali grill near my house, and I don't know exactly what they serve, but it seems like a place. Have you been there before, Jesse? Technically, I guess it's kind of close to you too. It's next to the Empire Walk in that arbitrary plaza they built for no reason.
I don't think I've been there
Yeah, it's like across from the new Price Chopper.
yet.
Yeah, it's like the only thing in that plaza is a Mexicali grill and a Dollar Tree. God bless suburban America. There's also 4 other plazas in that town that are now empty. So instead of just filling those, instead of just filling the many empty storefronts in Webster, they just create new storefronts so the other plazas can die, I guess. Make Webster great again. I don't actually know if Webster ever was great.
Ah, Jolly, it turns.
But
If
is
Kettle says bees 3 times, he appears. And his first thing is, we are talking about bees. Yes. The Isa is now a bee. I declare it so. Make it a bee.
I should just design that bee commander I was talking about last week. And just do that. New Kickstarter bonus robot.
Bees?
Bee
They're all
commander.
bees?
You have unlocked Beatrice, the bee commander.
Perfect.
Don't have them call.
What, Beatrice? That's actually
Beatrice.
Sorry, that's codified in the lore now, where the neutral commander with the name that starts with B will be Beatrice.
I don't want that.
Beatrice.
I don't want anything to do with that. Please don't do that. That's not
Beatrice. He says after we unironically implement a robot named Elo Poppet into the game.
Excuse me, the robot is named the L000.
The L000.
Highly.
Hello,
That's completely
Poppet.
different from Beatrice. With 2 E.
So let's see here. I wonder if I could. How do I make this robot?
Everyone's pretty pumped for the bee commander, and female Chokan likes the walking towards you pose. And now we're making bee puns.
It's getting the strut.
And we've regressed to bees. I'm sorry.
Email Chokan, I'm gonna need you to draw some sparkles coming out of this robot.
A bee butt. It's like a bee butt kind of.
Yeah.
It's a stinger. It's 6 stingers.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Like an excessive.
I don't think it's excessive. It's probably the right amount.
One of my favorite pictures that I saw on the internet recently is like the anatomy of a bee, but it's like one of those dumb Tumblr anatomy things where it's like points at the various things and gives them cute names. But when it points at the stinger, it just says rude.
I'm looking for this.
Good luck. It seems like you can never find meme images on Google image search when you want them. It's like, this has been reblogged 4 trillion times on Tumblr, but it doesn't show up on Google Images.
I like this bee picture
Yeah.
of bros and not bros. It's true. The more angular the bee, the more you don't want to be anywhere near it. Confirms.
The more angular the bee.
It's true.
Yeah, maybe I'll like extend you horizontally like this.
You mean by the more angular the bee, bumblebees being around are more friendly than.
Then wasps, which are angules and not so friendly.
Does that reconcile to like?
I think so. I came across ground hornets once, and they were like, they didn't
They were
mind I was
dicks.
there, but I was also like, I'm gonna just be over here, away from you, very away. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, maybe we'll like do like that eye motif. The real question is, can I pull off this pose in the final version?
I'm distracted by terrifying. Oh man, these are big.
Merge.
One time, when this also has nothing to do with art. One time, when my mother and her uncle being my uncle, so my mother, her brother, and her sister, her family went to a vacation somewhere up north on a lake or wherever. They got a cabin on the lake, were hanging out. They're all 14 or whatever. And around this cabin, there's a hole in the ground, and it was ground bees, a hornet nest. So my uncle,
ground
who
bees.
is a mischievous little tyke, decides to take a stick and stick it in the hornet's nest in the ground. So he plugs up the hornet's nest, goes away, does something for 5-10 minutes, finds his father, who is my grandfather, and goes, "Hey Dad, I have something to show you." Walks back over to the hornet nest, pulls up the stick, and proceeds to book it as my grandfather stands there looking very confused, and then books it once he realized what was happening.
Did someone try to assassinate your grandfather?
My uncle was a jerk to my grandfather, which sounds like my uncle. That's what he did when he was a youngin'. He was a pain in the butt.
That's funny.
So apparently, Joey likes my stories, which is great because my stories really aren't that great.
Zephyr Workshop weekly stream. Quality content about bees.
Yes. So now the 3-2 and Bryfox say that Isa kind of looks like a horse, and Bryfox wants to ride it, which would be pretty cool and a little terrifying.
See, how tall is a human compared to this thing? So
Can ride like horse.
humans like this tall, I think. I think humans are about half as tall as your average Aegis robot. Half or 1/3 or something.
So you could, if a human was half as tall as the given Aegis robot. That's, I mean,
Yeah, I think that
That's a
looks.
pretty tall horse.
That's
Yeah.
about right. But yeah, technically you could totally ride on top of it.
I couldn't recommend it. I feel like these things generally move pretty fast.
Yeah. Has anyone here seen Gadgard? It's a show that they had on Tech TV a long time ago. Where the kids, they had these robots, and they stood on their shoulders as they like acrobated around the city, and it was very unsafe. And it was a really cool show with a cool opening.
Is that the plotline? Is unsafe?
Yeah, essentially. I don't know how to do the perspective for this pose. Have I considered getting good?
B for workshops. You're trying to make a pun with these. That wasn't me. I didn't. Zephyr B shop.
Zephyr B shop. There's the pivot.
That's
When board
a
games
much
don't.
less good pivot than Chinchillas.
Yeah,
So, if
which
we're being
totally. I don't know. I guess we could just move on to either if board games doesn't work out and then Chinchillas doesn't work out, we're gonna become beekeepers.
Yes.
Apparently, yeah, I forget that's
Sarah,
actually.
why do you want to be beekeepers over chinchilla farmers? Don't understand.
Can't we have both? I'm not looking at chinchillas. They're so cute.
Dolus Cosidos or whatever the hell.
Parquelonodos.
Pork nolo dos.
Close enough.
That close enough.
Sure. Why are chinchillas so cute?
Zephyr Workshop. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday
Oh,
stream.
they're so fluffy.
They're great.
Oh.
You could raise them and then have a farm of chinchillas. And then obviously profit, because what else would you do with a farm of chinchillas?
Keep them all.
I mean, that's a strategy.
Maybe if I go like this.
So
I've had
cute.
other tall robots in the past that I actually was a little bit creative with their pose to make them fill the space better. So maybe I can try that here. Because right now it's coming out very cool and vertical. But it's gonna be a lot of space. Brilliant. Wish I had on tap what the IZA-100's card looked like. If anybody has that on tap.
I feel like you have that.
Not at the very moment. Let's see.
We get some questions about where the commanders are located in conjunction with their robots.
So this has been a hot button issue, and obviously everything I say on stream becomes canon,
That's not
which is
true at
which is
all.
how I'm treating these live streams.
That's none of that is true.
Everything.
So Stella has a cockpit now.
Does not.
It does.
I did that for you, but it's not a cockpit.
It is a cockpit. It's 100% a cockpit. Stella's robot is probably the most traditional as a result of that. Because she just sits in the cockpit
Obviously.
and shoots you with laser beams. Obviously there are a lot of other robots as well. I would say Gamoon's is also pretty straightforward in that Gamoon sits in the head of his robot.
I want to say that Gamoon sits on the head of his robot.
You think that Gamoon just doesn't care about people shooting at him?
No, he doesn't.
Stands out there?
No, dude, it's like Gurren Lagann. Like, Kamina always just sat on top of the damn robot and got in when it got hairy. It's like, come on, man. Jesse's still getting owned by Codename Steam.
I'm getting owned. I just got exploded.
Got exploded a little.
Yeah. You know, it's
So, like, if I were to, like, draw a picture of Gamoon sitting on top of his robot, like, here he would be, sitting cross-legged, on top of his robot with his little cloak and his little G crest. With his arms crossed underneath the cloak thing. And then there's a little head, and there's his stupid big pillbox hat. And here's little sunglasses. So it actually just sits like right up here. Totally alright. It's a hot button issue though.
What about
Einer totally rides on the shoulder of ARC
what?
150
Can you do the
so he
thing
can
that,
dismount and like mount other robots and stab them with his oversized gun.
Can you do the thing that what's his face did in Real Steel? Forget stupid Wolverine's real name.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
Stupid Wolverine.
Yeah, stupid Wolverine. Can he
Einer shadow box?
Yeah, shadow box, and then the ARC 150 does the same thing.
I think that would be cinematically much more cool when we're greenlit for Aegis the animated series.
All right.
I don't think we're anywhere close to being greenlit for an animated series.
I think we are. We're distinctly closer to being greenlit for an animated series, much more than somebody who hasn't made something. I would say that out of all humans, we are in the 98th percentile of being
greenlit for an animated.
Yeah, we're in the 98th percentile of humans in terms of likelihood of having an animated series. So, yeah, there it is.
I still don't think that puts us in the list of people who get an animated series, though.
Gets us close to the list of people who get an animated series.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that list is like the 0.01%.
Yeah.
So we've still got a ways to go.
But man, we trounced that first 98% of people. Now I'm like tied to this thing and I can't think of a better pose. Stupid IZA-100, so elongated. Stupid horse.
Stand on its back legs and move its arms.
I can literally make it look like a horse.
Oh, what's going on, chat? I just stepped away for a second.
Nay.
So the robos aren't piloted, but how are they controlled?
Let me think. I forget if there's a way to describe this. I've quote unquote Breeze Grigus 2016.
I forget if there's a way to describe that.
I forget if there is a way to describe this.
Okay.
I forget if there is a way
Oh my god, new ISA pose, please keep.
describe this. What, the new ISA pose? Who says
The
that?
rearing one, me.
Oh god! Oh, the neighing horse.
Can I just please
ISA
stay?
pose.
Yay! So it's spores now. Yeah.
That's the least stuff you right now.
Maybe.
Yes.
I guess we really don't have any horse-type robots in the game at the moment. We could have some horse robot, and it could be IZA-100.
I don't think it should be guys 100. I think we have better options for horse robots.
I like Joey's idea that the cloud is used to pilot them, so everything's in the cloud.
That's actually really close to what I was thinking.
It's similar. They're
Do you-
piloted by the commander.
Yeah, do you remember my stupid BS explanation for how
Yeah.
these robots are moving
They
around?
only work if there's all 5 of them.
Well, yeah,
together,
that's how
and
you
then-
turn them on.
Yeah, which is the first step.
Yeah,
Turning on is-
according to the Aegis lore, these robots sat around for a really long time and no one knew how to use them because you had to have 5 of them together in order for them to turn on. And I argue that that's very, very good lore, because imagine if your car didn't turn on unless you made a salt circle around it that featured a chess piece, a toaster, a box of napkins, and Jesse Clark. So it's kind of like they had all these robots and they just didn't know how to turn them on until very conveniently, like Einer one day had 5 of them in the right place at the right time. And they kind of just clicked together. Yes. Everyone's like, man, that's in perfect working order. It kind of like works, but it won't turn on. And all of a sudden one day, yeah, then one Einer's like, oh, maybe if by coincidence, 5 of them were next to each other, and and then everyone figured out the secret, and then this war started between these 5 nations.
Weren't they already warring before that?
Well, I guess
It's just the escalation.
there was totally just the escalation, yeah. So now like it just became like an arms race of people to figure out
More secrets for these ones.
yeah, more secrets for these Lego robots that everyone just kind of thought were ornamental to the landscape. And that happens, I think, like a year before the current timeline or something. So like the last year, everyone kind of figured out what these robots did. Countries started customizing them. I wonder if I made it like a little bit less beefy, maybe a little bit more beefy. And beefy bits, champ. Who remembers, was it? Those dog treats that used to be advertised in the 90s.
Bits? No, bacon strips.
It's bacon! With the...
Is that the right answer?
It's bacon, I love it. Yeah, with the dog, it would be like first
that
person.
had
That dog treat with the dog in the end. That's a great...
Dude, you'd be surprised how many dog treats they don't advertise with dogs in the ads. Like, every Taco Bell commercial, for one. Yeah,
Taco Bell wasn't a dog treat.
that was the joke.
Oh.
It's barely suitable for dogs!
Oh, I understand.
The joke is that the food of Taco Bell is of subpar quality.
I do not deny this fact.
No, the food at Taco Bell
It's
is
tasty.
top tier. It's higher tier than Arby's, I would say.
Dude, nobody... So, I mean, Taco Bell hasn't mastered the art of great social media like Arby's. If you haven't seen Arby's' Tumblr...
But I wouldn't say that social media prowess leads to a good restaurant. I'd say it leads to a popular. I'd say that the two are distinct.
Yeah, who here has ever eaten at P.F. Chang's? I want to know what everyone's opinion is of P.F. Chang's. That's what you're here for the Zephyr Workshop stream. I want opinions on P.F. Chang's. That's what the thing's about now. Then we can segue back to bees, and maybe we can also talk about art later. But right now I want to talk about P.F. Chang's. Let's see. What do you, the listener, want to say about P.F. Chang's?
Have you ever eaten at P.F. Chang's?
Jesse, have you ever eaten at P.F. Chang's?
What do I eat at PF?
Exactly. Like, honestly, like... It'd be really cool if I drew the robot upside down. It was actually coming down from like a spider thread.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be like really neat. Could I pull that off though?
I think. I don't have faith in that.
I wanna believe. But I don't think I could.
You do not agree with the price of P.F. Chang's. Melchior Can says, pay $14 for pork fried rice. And Kettle Corn says you're confusing Arby's with Denny's Tumblr.
No, dude, Arby's' Facebook page, yo. You gotta do. But yeah, dude, yeah, like,
But I would still argue that
is there a bigger ripoff than P.F. Chang's? Because not only does it taste not as good as your standard garbage takeout Chinese food, it's like 4 times the price.
Friendly's. Friendly's is pretty subpar food and it's really expensive. Their ice cream's really legit.
their ice cream makes up for it.
You think so?
Yeah,
I only go
Friendly's
to
is-
Friendly's for ice
They
cream.
are a good ice cream place, and I would say that you can get like chicken that they don't screw up that badly for a relatively reasonable price.
I would. So, what bugs me the most about Friendly's is that I went there the other day for some godforsaken reason. Not really the other day.
Didn't
It was like
Friendly's
weeks ago.
Also de-chain themselves? Aren't they just individually?
Maybe.
I thought that happened.
That could possibly be a thing, yeah.
But I could be wrong.
And then, but like, Friendly's, they had these little iPod kiosks where you ordered your food, and I didn't really know why. because there's like 7 people in the restaurant at any given time, and they still had waitresses.
Applebee's had the same.
Oh yeah, no, those things make my blood boil, because they automatically still add a tip at the end of the meal, even though now the waiter doesn't do anything.
They still deliver your
They
food.
still deliver your food, yeah, but like, why even have waiters at that point? And why does it automatically charge me a 20% tip for the meal, even though I did all of the work?
You didn't do it.
I did, except for going to get it. At that point, I would have just gone and get it. But like, I don't know. That rubbed me the wrong way, because I was also there at Olive Garden, so it's like a lot of these awful chain places. If Red Robin ever implements this, I will never eat at Red Robin again. Red Robin, half the fun of Red Robin is interacting with the waiters, because they're very nice. One time I went to the Olive Garden. They had a waitress come over, and she just was like, "Hello, this is the iPad where you can order your food." And she was more like a tutorial person, and talked about how to use the food ordering mechanism.
Well,
And it's like,
so what they're trying to do is replace the wait staff.
train the wait staff to replace themselves.
Yeah, that's how pretty much every industry has done automation. So it's an
So
attempt
bad.
to automate the food service industry.
Ugh.
I mean, Japan has done places where you literally never have to have involved in the food preparation.
Japan is very progressive. They also don't have enough people these days. Yeah, their population's going down.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
They don't have enough people who want to be waiters. America is a very social country, and we have an overabundance of humans. So therefore, I want 17 waiters at every single food eatery.
How do you figure that we have an overabundance?
Humans? We have a lot of humans.
Yeah, but we also have a lot of money.
God, we have 1 million humans.
We have a lot more than 1 million.
We have 1 million. We have like 1 million humans in this country. You know how many that is? It's a lot. I can't even count that high. It would take me a long time. Maybe I could count that high.
I would say that 1 million is not very much.
Do you think 1 million, Sarah? Do you even think 1 million humans is a lot of humans?
It's
In,
less than an
like,
8,000 population.
For what are you comparing it to? If we're comparing it to like the 3 of us, then yes. If we're comparing it to like
People on the planet.
people on the planet, or like ants in an giant ant
ants
colony.
in the area near us right now.
Yeah, then no. I also can't really fathom 1 million people very well.
Despite the fact that New York has like several.
Yeah, but like I don't really. Like I know there's a lot of people, but because I can't like see them all at once, it's like dependent on where I am and how many people I see.
Did
It
you
doesn't
know
feel like a ton.
that
How did we get
fit
into this?
The entire world's population to Rhode Island.
Do you like stack them up really high, or do they just all?
No. You just put them
Do you
all
just
next to each other.
stack the humans
Really?
really high?
Yeah, I believe it's Rhode Island. I could have my stage song. I believe it's Rhode Island.
You just cram them
There
like
is an
like sardines.
KCD what if on the continent, because someone asked the question of what happens if you got all of the people on the planet into the same location and they all jumped at the same time.
Oh, yeah, I heard this
And
before.
he took it and wrote it up under an assumption that you got them all into a space where they were all touching the ground and next to each other with like enough space so that you're not crushing one another, and estimated that the volume of humans roughly took up the landmass of Rhode Island. And so then and if I'm wrong, it's New Jersey, but I think it's Rhode Island. And he basically went through it and was like, everybody jumps, nothing happens. Then in the ensuing effort to leave the state, everyone dies because the state can't handle having 8 million people. So like all of the roadways are clogged forever. No one gets out. The entire
It's like
human
Boston.
population dies, and like the Earth goes on spinning very slightly slower than it used to.
That's Boston at rush hour. Everyone dies, and then the Earth spins a little bit slower. Yeah, maybe we'll go with this one. I guess. We'll just try to like extend out, fill, give them these phalanges. Here. Da-dun, 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 da-dun. Da-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum-ba-bum. Let's the cleaner version of what I'm doing. Do the robot. Where do the commanders live?
The what?
I wonder what Einer's house looks like. That's pretty bare bones.
Live in like
Probably lives in. I'd picture Einer living in a tent.
they're on the run. They're like trying to keep their territory.
So yeah, he probably
I
like
would assume that they have
permanently.
to pick up and move camp pretty often.
Yeah.
We're talking about restaurants, kind of.
I was thoroughly underwhelmed by these recently.
I mean,
Going back.
can I repeat that sentence?
Thoroughly underwhelmed by Applebee's.
I was thoroughly underwhelmed by Applebee's.
Like, alright, so I would say that the food that I got was significantly worse than getting food from McDonald's and cost me probably
No kidding. That sounds like Applebee's.
I feel like that's...
I went to Applebee's once in like the last 5 years and ordered a burger, and they gave me like
a bad version.
no, they gave you like 7 fries, and I'm like, do I get refills on these? And they're like, no, and I'm like, never coming back. Like it's like in terms of like chain restaurant Rondo, man, Red Robin has spoiled me. It's like, what do you mean I don't get
Yes,
infinite
seriously.
fries? I can't deal with a place that doesn't give me infinite something. Or it gives me a finite amount of something.
I mean,
Like,
I didn't like that great fries in other places. Like
that's the other thing. The Applebee's fries suck, and they don't even have the gall to give me more.
like both Red Robin and Five Guys, their fries are pretty good.
Like most decent like Tex-Mex places I sit down at have the courtesy of giving me nachos and salsa for free. Go to that Papagayo. But like crappy teenager restaurants that don't give me infinite something. Yeah. Restaurants where you sit down, but adults that are respectable don't really go there. So like Red Robin.
That every restaurant that is a chain?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my
So
see, a teenager.
You came up with your own terminology for chain
Yes, I have coined a new term for chain restaurants: teenager restaurants.
Well, Joey says In-N-Out has good fries. Where did we go?
Out isn't really that much of a thing, is it?
That's
I
it,
don't
Joey. That's
think
just subtle
so.
bragging from Joey being like, "I live in California. I know what an In-N-Out is."
Where did we go on the way to Gen Con?
Oh, there's
that
a
had,
place.
Like, the worst breakfast.
Wait, which place?
It was. What was the name of the stupid place?
I thought you were talking about Bob's Burgers for a sec.
Bob's Burgers was amazing. All right.
If
so
you're ever going,
jumping topics
if you're
completely.
ever going through Ohio and you manage to not like fall asleep or ignore the whole place, if you're ever going through Ohio, there's a place called Bob's Burgers.
It's amazing.
It's been in business since like 19 BC, and it's so good.
They had like $5 burgers
They're
with
like-
bacon and stuff on it. It was
Some
like
of the-
legit burgers.
Some of the best burgers I have ever had in my life.
And the milkshakes, you could pay like $3 to get a regular milkshake, I think.
Yeah.
Or like $3.50 to get extra thick, which is just like more ice cream.
It was crazy.
Fantastic. Jacob's here.
Peltoli?
Yeah.
Jaco
He asked if
Peltoli.
Bob's Burgers is like the show. It wasn't really like the show.
We totally went there because it was called Bob's Burgers, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Where in Ohio was it? Let's see.
It was. I want to say it was near Akron, because we were on our way back on like
It
some
was
major.
Akron, you're right.
Bob's. Yeah, it's totally where we ate.
Yeah, it's like a tiny little,
"Quote unquote" no nonsense burger place. Yeah, no kidding, no nonsense.
it's...
It was just like they give you great food for no money.
If anyone's ever in Akron, Ohio,
There are no. I have not had a better burger in Massachusetts.
yeah, we definitely stopped because we're like, Bob's Burgers, let's go, and then we fed ourselves for like
I think they also had.
$10. It was insane.
Yeah, they had like really high Yelp ratings too, which helped.
It's great. I would go back and try something else, and definitely get a milkshake again.
Yeah, but didn't you get like a really plain burger or something? I got like the sweet like bacon something or other, and you're just like, I would like a burger.
I think I was kind of lame, and I just got a burger with normal stuff like cheese. I think there was some hot sauce on it, a burger, lettuce. It was pretty low key, but it was still a good burger. I recommend it.
Do you?
I do.
Zephyr Workshop recommends Bob's Burgers.
River in Ohio.
Anyone who's finding their way to Gen Con from the Northeast next year, stop by Bob's Burgers. Do 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 do.
We also stopped in what was this stupid place? Where Metatopia was. Where in New Jersey was that?
Metatopia.
Yeah. What that breakfast joint that was really good.
Oh yeah, there's a place right in the center of Morristown that's really
Morristown, yeah.
good. Morristown's a nice place.
It is a nice place.
I'd go back. It is quality.
Really
Wish they would have. I wish they would have Metatopia at a time of year where it's not like very cold, but you know.
I mean, isn't that like roughly half the year?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Schedule around my needs, damn it.
schedule own things only in the summer, but not all at the same time.
Yeah, really.
Thanks.
Make it work. You got it.
Also, they must be close to me.
Yes.
man, Joey says you should see if Bob's Burgers will sponsor us.
Yeah, just call up this
That'd be
random diner in
awesome.
Ohio and be like,
Eat there once.
hey, yo, we ate there once and we'll shill for you all around the country. Please give us $40,000 to print our game.
Totally recoup those costs. Oh, yeah. Try it.
I guess. Get that Isa is unique among eye types where she doesn't have rollerball feet, and I kind of want to keep it that way.
Yeah, she just legs.
She does.
Which are
That's
way better for deserts than volleyball.
that's true. Only marginally though. I think that's really funny.
That's more than marginal.
What is worse for deserts people, rollerball feet or spindle legs?
I have to say, if you gave me the option of walking on
Stilts?
sand, and you said you can either walk this in high heels or on rollerblades, I would probably say high heels because I think I could get further.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you would get very far on rollerblades.
This is yeah, I could pick yeah.
Oh man, Jacob suggests robot-themed burger joint. That sounds pretty legit.
I think that's a good idea.
I think, isn't there like a Gundam
Yeah.
cafe
Oh
or
yeah,
burger joint in Japan?
all the anime cafes in Japan are like so good. They're like such rip-offs. They're like, here's a $30 burger that we seared a picture of a Gundam onto the top bun. Oh my god, and they're not even good stuff like that. Like I would pay money for a burger that just had a giant like Gundam handprint. It's like this burger of mine glows with a delicious power.
That, oh my god. But
Burger of mine glows with a delicious power.
Jacob Peltoa asks, how do they interact with the stream? They want to use the blur tool on that Martian looking thing on the back of the IZA.
The blur tool?
Yes.
I mean, how do they interact with the stream? Oh.
He wants to be able to
He wants to edit the art.
Twitch draws Aegis robots.
Oh, Twitch does Aegis robots actually though.
Twitch.
Probably.
I want to do Twitch uses Photoshop.
That sounds. Oh man, that looks way
That'd be
cooler.
the same exact thing.
What, where,
Twitch
what?
draws.
I kind of looked away. I didn't see the cool thing you're building up on the back of the IZA.
Yeah, now it tilts backwards.
It's pretty cool.
And so it's,
I feel like Twitch draws Aegis robots is the same thing as Twitch does Photoshop.
I think that's
Probably.
I feel like we could configure that. It would probably be a pain in the butt to use. I can't imagine you'd get very far.
yeah.
You'd have to have like a pen down.
I think I know how I'm gonna fudge the perspective on this, and I'm just gonna have the back leg be black mostly, and that way I don't have to figure out the details. No one heard that,
We're
that's-
totally not streaming this live.
but that's generally how you're supposed to do it anyway.
And then Game Challenge 2017, Twitch draws robots.
Just build a Twitch plugin for the game challenge. It's kind of like what Jacob tried last year. Doodles. They just didn't understand the genius of whatever that thing that Jacob was pitching. Yeah, I pitched a Twitch plugin and no one understood. They were just like, "Wha-" As far as I remember what the feedback was, everyone was like, what?
Yeah.
The world just wasn't ready for the Wolf Fang Fist. Anyone know that there's a manga that's gonna be published where a kid dies and he's reincarnated as Yamcha from DBZ, and he uses his knowledge of DBZ to make Yamcha the most baller character. This is an actual thing that's being written right now.
Why?
It's really funny. There's also one of the recent episode of Dragon Ball Super was a stupid baseball filler episode, and Yamcha goes up to bat and he gets owned, and he's then like the dust clears and he's in a crater in the exact same death pose as when the Cybermen blow him up.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm glad that like 30 years
amazing.
later, Yamcha's like fuckery is like now a thing that is being written about and called back to.
Can you explain why?
Because like, I don't know, when you maybe eventually when Naruto gets to be like 30 years old, we'll get like sweet manga about Rock Lee. Because they're gonna need to milk it for like the next 20 years or 30 years or 50 years. So eventually you have to circle around and do everything. Like they released a game called Dragon Ball Fusions that just let you do the fusion dance with every character. That's cool. They gave Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 form for some reason, and that was game exclusive. It's just like, yeah, just eventually just release games that fill in cracks that fans want and like spin-offs. Like I want my spin-off manga about who is the most useless character in Bleach? No, screw that. I want an entire spin-off manga about Aizen, and that's it. That's just only Aizen, and it's just gonna give me a truncated version of the entire story from his perspective, as if that isn't basically it already. But and just like maybe he writes in his diary every night about how he tools all the main characters, and he just sits there drinking tea. So maybe that'll come, except no one in Japan cares about Bleach Law. It's the most forgotten, pitiful manga.
Apparently, the 3-2 says that, back to the baseball thing, that Goku even says, this seems familiar.
That's good. So here's my rough. And
Looks like it has 3 legs.
the last one is back there somewhere.
Good. I probably shouldn't take my phone with her.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
see.
really excited to see the colors on this one, because I feel like you have the chance to make the colors not like super crazy, but
Ymil Chokan, do the
way
colors. I
more
don't feel like
colorful.
it. Here, you're good at like purples and teals. You do it.
It's true, it is be purple and teal. Maybe a bit of gold in there too. That's just how it goes in my head now. It might not be gold at all.
Ah. Back when I was first drawing commanders, all the commander robots had some gold highlights somewhere. Or at least that was kind of the idea. So maybe we'll see if we can keep that. Put some gold. Some gold! As it were. And I wonder what the Actyl Esperiza would look like.
The Actyl.
The Actyl Esperiza.
That's quite the name.
That's a very specific robot.
Oh yeah.
It is.
They just have a lance.
A lance and butterfly wings
Can
and
it pirouette and kill things?
evasion down and double move.
Oh man, I know what it would look like. It'd look like the final form in Kill la Kill.
Yeah, obviously.
Sure. What was
What, Senketsu Fashion Week? Was I think the official name for it.
was it? I don't remember.
It had like a Japanese name, but I really like the translation of Senketsu Fashion Week.
Oh my god, that's amazing. There was the thing in Gurren Lagann as well. Its name eludes me. That looked very similar. You could
Yoko?
tell. No, it was like a robot kind of thing. It showed up on the giant ship, whose name also eludes me.
Oh, was it piloted by one of the 4 bad guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it's like definitely Kill la Kill definitely took inspiration from that. Looking back at it, was like, oh, it's really cool. And then, really, there are a ton of references to Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill, which isn't like really that surprising. But like one of them is like the tiny little Hitler guy. He's like, there he is.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even notice that.
And like that right there.
Oh yeah, the communist sunglasses. They put that in everything.
This, which is not super.
Yeah, that's actually something that he outright does in like everything he makes. He always does like the stupid
It's like
headbutt
the
close
trope.
up. Yeah, the director
Nice.
did. The director is very kind of predictable in his cool stuff.
You get crazy attack even crazier and it'll help. Thank you, Kill la Kill. She's a nose. That's okay. Ooh, I looked away again, and I like this new thing you're sketching.
Because here's a surprise. Maybe, yeah. So I'll draw the ART IZA.
Yeah, I like it.
This robot will make an appearance eventually. With its awesome spear, and it's gonna have like the spear will be shaped like an eye, like Ixa's bone staff thing. Actually, because this will be Ixa's super awesome personal robot, and so it should look a lot like Ixa herself.
Kind of looks like the shoulder pads are eyeballs right now, which I like. If you could have tons of eyes for no reason.
Tons of eyes,
Yeah.
like the letter I.
Yeah, that's not what I meant, but yeah, sure.
I think that's fair.
You can make it so it has really good evasion because it has eyes everywhere, so it can't be snuck up on.
Gets 3 instances of exposed.
That's a lot.
Unnecessary.
It'll also be the only. It'll also be the only robot with exposed.
Yeah, since we got rid of him.
Oh yeah.
Ixa used to have an ability called expose on a robot, which is still cool and which we're still going to use later. But yeah, Ixa's robot had like 30 keywords, and so he simplified her down a bit.
There's a lot for level 1 where you really want people to be able to look at the card and get it, like, immediately.
And then Esperiza was at one point the most complicated robot in the game period. It had like every conceivable mechanic on the robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had like 7.
Nepstein has joined us.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Mepstein, who's not currently working on Doki Doki, because he's wasting time in our stream.
Maybe he's doing both.
Could be doing both. Oh yeah, that's right. We've submitted a bunch of PAX East panels. And so if you're going to PAX East, be sure to come by our panels if they get accepted. So we submitted, and we'll find out if they're accepted at some point. At some point. I don't know what their schedule is. They usually figure it out like a month after we submit or something. We just have to submit a few more. We submitted 6 panels this year.
Did we talk about the panels last week?
I forget if
I can't remember either.
yeah, I forget if I ever went into detail. One of them's a game design panel about digital game design. One of them is a design panel that I keep changing the subject on, and that's the one I haven't submitted yet. But some really cool people are on that one. And then we have game publishing, which is something that we do every year. And this time we have a pretty decent. It's a little different this year because I have a bunch of the panelists that I have lined up are from a wide display of like different experiences with board game publishing. And the last, my back. The last kind of tabletop-y gamey panel is about how to make effective prototypes. How do you take your idea of a game and make it into a physical thing that people can touch without just doing the obvious of take note cards and then scrawl on them. Like if you wanted the game to look a little bit more impressive, or if you wanted to look into publishing the game yourself or whatever. We're going to talk a bit about that.
So in between on the full-fledged publishing with people.
Yeah. So it's like I would like part of the things that I want to talk about in there would be it was mostly a panel that Greenbrier wanted me to submit so we could get some more passes. But the main headliner of that panel is Zach Parks, who is the Greenbrier guy, and he's gonna walk through what it looks like to design, use InDesign to create prototypes. And then Michael Epstein is also on that panel, because he's also an InDesign guru, and he makes prototypes all the damn time, like every week he's making a prototype. And then we have Jesse here, who's also on the panel, and he will talk about the importance of if your game is really complicated, and you have, like AEGIS is, in terms of production, how to properly organize data and how to iterate on your game.
Or just if your game has things that it have to interact. Like if you have a repeatable mechanic.
Yep.
Storing that data in an intelligent.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily complex games like AEGIS where we have 80 moving parts in the base game and a whole bunch of other stuff that we're constantly adding to, plus a bunch of mechanics, plus commanders and all that. Even for something like, I'm trying to think of a really simple example, but and basically anything with keyworded abilities that you're referencing over and over, or anything where you're using like a run something, being able to store that data in an effective manner is really important, so that you don't have to change it 70 times when you decide that drawing 2 cards off of it was too good and you really only want to draw 1 card.
Yep. So yeah, that's something we definitely have for AEGIS. We have this very complex database where all of the robots stuff has come from, but it's not like every robot has its own entry on the spreadsheet. We have a table of all the abilities, a table of all of the attacks, and then a table of robots, and then like another table that compiles it all together. So it makes editing the abilities and robots much easier. So that's like something you can speak to. I also stuck a certain Yemil Cho-chan onto the panel too, so she can talk about what prototype art looks like, or how you tie some doodlies to your mechanics and things like that. So we kind of like have like the steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 of physically creating your tabletop game on this panel. And I don't even think I'm on the panel, but I'm still listed as the contact, and I'll probably sit on it anyway. Let's see.
You two had to peace out for the night. Say the boxes are looking awesome. Thank you. If you're still around, have a good night. Epstein is admiring the Isa's legs, kind of.
Admiring?
Kind
It's
of.
hard to say those legs. Or they're too hard.
That's not true. Sometimes you have. Well, we'll let Yimel
save it for the
Cho-chan.
panel.
We'll save it for the
I
panel.
think we cut out. Maybe not though. The stream is spinning. There we go.
Hopefully that observable for everyone. We're
Yeah, that's true. Maybe not.
we're both watching our own stream and streaming it on two separate machines, so we might be stealing bit from ourselves. I don't know how strong the network connection here is.
That's true.
Oh yeah, that's right. How do I?
I'm unsure what you missed, Shokan.
You're
Oh,
on
it did
the.
cut out. It would appear.
Emily, you're on a panel at PAX, and you're gonna talk about the aesthetic side of making a decent prototype.
No, she was gone for the past hour.
That's
so.
good. That's fine.
You missed everything.
We were talking. We were
What
talking.
panel?
We were talking about. Yeah, we were talking
This
about
is true.
Applebee's.
But like the thing about it is not to completely is that it's not even like Arby's tier for its and it's still more expensive than Arby's. Like I would go to Arby's
Oh, look how
before I would go to Applebee's.
This is why you flip your stuff horizontally, mates. Look how skewed that guy is. Now, before I start doing the intensive line process, I can fix that with my shape tools. I had an inkling that this would be skewed.
Yes.
Fascinating.
The important Applebee's facts are don't go to Applebee's.
Yeah, pretty
That was
much.
basically the topic of discussion. If you're gonna go to Applebee's, go anywhere else.
All chain restaurants are the same, except for Applebee's, which doesn't give you infinite anything.
Well, also Arby's. Arby's is also bottom tier, but still higher tier.
Arby's is a fast food place, I believe. I don't think it counts as a fast casual place.
Oh, okay. You're trying to separate the two.
Like Arby's is pretty bottom tier fast food.
But it's still higher tier than Applebee's, I would argue.
I would
In spite
say
of the fact
so.
that they're competing on different axes, I would still go to Arby's before I went to Applebee's. Because not only is that would I say that Arby's has better food than Applebee's, I would also say that Arby's does mozzarella sticks better than Applebee's. And that I did not expect.
I would say that. That would probably be. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's interesting when places try to do mozzarella sticks really fancy.
I mean, free mozzarella sticks are pretty worthwhile, but top 10 Arby's strats. Sorry, I'm underestimating any Pokemon moves.
No, it's fine.
I don't know how many of them
One's
work.
a match 3, and one's
Which one is a match 3? Is it
Pokemon
Shuffle?
Shuffle, yeah.
Alright, what's Picross? I don't understand
Picross is...
Picross is the only thing Sarah plays.
That's not true, if including Steam now. Picross is... Hang on. I have to...
Look up the definition of Picross.
Well,
so
it's
you
hard
can-
to... Okay, so I'm not good at describing without having something in front of me.
So you
So-
have to draw a thing.
You have a grid or whatever, and these numbers here tell you how many of these squares are colored in. So on this line,
Gotcha.
yeah, okay,
Okay.
and that's what you do. So you solve the puzzles like that.
Oh, the only thing I don't
So, sure, if there's multiple, you will have 2, and
Oh,
then a
then a
space,
space,
and then
and
6,
then- okay.
and then at least 1 space, and then a 2, and then a space, and then a 1 and a space.
I gotcha.
So it might not necessarily be all
Oh, one thing like
all
that.
in all in one thing like that. You could have more than one space between them, but there are spaces between the numbers.
Let's see.
It's pretty cool. I like it. It's pretty chill. Yeah, Picross is pretty fun.
Sometimes I wonder how people stream for like 1,000,000 hours at a time, because my back hurts really bad.
The sofa isn't really the best.
Yeah, they sit in chairs.
Yeah. The sofa's pretty low tier.
Fair.
I can't really get comfortable.
We are also talking about Applebee's.
Arby's advertising is catering just now. Yeah, but that's
Applebee's
still
is terrible.
inferior. Like they're still not the superior option. Like I would say in terms of social media tier, that the Sonic the Hedgehog social media accounts are the superior.
That one's
social media.
pretty good.
I like how the Arby's social media started out really simple, and now like the other day they posted like the most elaborate like paper craft like One Piece Thousand Sunny ship. It's like before it's just like, hey, look at this yellow star on top of a red thing in Steven Universe, yay. And I was just like, look, they're doing like full on like sculptures made out of like Arby's trash. And I guess like they were noticing the really good effects of pandering to anime fans on the internet, which I hope more companies realize. Like Ford realized it, so they did a Ford Fusion commercial that had Dragon Ball Z clips in it. And it's like that's how you internet advertise. We don't care about advertising. We care about memes. We just want memes and pop culture references. Yamil Chokan, did you finish your art yet? Let's see, maybe she should stream and that would give her motivation.
Looks like that Brad from Level 99 is also streaming at this moment.
Oh, really?
He's playing, I think, Dota, but I'm not really
No, that's Heroes of the
sure.
Storm.
My bad, it's Heroes of the Storm.
I wonder how Brad has time to enjoy life. He's making like a game every 5 days. He's so cool. Let's see. Brad, I love you. Answer my email. Sparkles. This is the strut.
And then looked away and stuff happened.
And stuff happened?
Yeah, just... I shall put back in a sec.
Instead of HOTS.
I'm saying hello to Brad.
I'm waiting for Brad to be like...
Mm-hmm.
No, waiting for Brad to like... He's doing this for research. The next game is going to be BattleCon, the MOBA. We make you just punk.
Yeah.
We love you. Let's see. So I heard you like streaming, so we watched the level 99 stream while we watched Effort Workshop
Yeah.
stream.
Stream section's over here. Steam is debating between two games to work on.
One of them's Doki Doki.
Either Candy Theft or writing a pitch for a licensed game from Deja Bond.
Oh, stop. So I guess you could probably do that. If you impressed Ichiro with your prototype, I'm sure he would have no problem doing that. Did Brad recognize who we are?
These people just having a random conversation. I don't want to like.
I
come
did
in
feel
here.
a breeze. Oh, hey, is that Fabio?
Or maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
totally Fabio.
Tell Fabio I need to ask him. Talk about it later. Fabio, I love you. I know.
Someone else's stream.
I know. Talking to the people in the level 99 stream.
Yeah.
Alright. Now begins the little arduous task of line work. Everybody's favorite. Before I do that though, where are we? Do some show and tell. This is Ixa. She's pretty cool. I think the only improvement I did to I didn't really I like
We have a request to bring back speed metal. We just bring back 80 speed metal. This seems good. I agree with us.
I also agree. We're gonna bring back speed
I'm
metal.
gonna write a power metal symbol, apparently. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, this art is by Daniel Olson. Just like last time. Pretty good. I like it a lot. Ixa. Purple Commander. The only things I really edited from his version where I just like fine-tuned the face to get it where I wanted it. But yeah, so Ixa's like super awesome spy person and she goes and she kicks butt. And she steals your stuff. She doesn't apologize for it either. Really inconsiderate. Actually, here's something cool. So here are the first, or some of the first. Actually, these are not the first, but these are the second iterations on the Commander sketches
Oh man.
from
those are
Dan,
great. I love
from
those.
Dan Olson.
Yeah, looks like this.
And like, I wish I could. I didn't find the first ones that I got. They're sitting around somewhere. But the first iterations of Gamund we got back were of him eating a giant hoagie, and it's like the best. And I'll make sure to show you guys it's that at some point. But so yeah, here we have Einar. He looks kind of like his final art, and then like Gamund kept this pose, but he had a lot of other aesthetic changes. Ixa changed the least from sketch to final version. She just kind of kept this like Shaolin monk thing going on. Yeah, we needed girls to be more tough. She was originally more like a priestess, but I've grown to like her super muscular legs and super martial arts looking. And then Rios was designed by Daniel Olson pretty much from scratch. I gave him some references. Wanted him to have these giant metal things on his arms like the main dude from a PS1 game called Silent Bomber, which everyone should play. So he gave me that. He had these really huge dinosaur feet that we toned down. We toned him down a little bit overall to give him slightly more normal proportions compared to everyone else. In the final art, here we have Stell. She had a really small head and like really big ear things, but yeah, she kind of kept like the very similar idea. Actually, she changed the most. I had to do the most back and forth with him on that. Diane stayed the same. She used to be carrying this thing in her left hand, and I really wanted to keep it, but I couldn't figure out what it would be. Is she just carrying like a canister of milk? And then Poppet basically just futzed with her hair. And Etwald kind of just got redrawn completely. He is in a very different pose compared to what he started as, because I guess this one wasn't working for us and we wanted him to be a little bit more dynamic. And it was hard to get the shoulders to work. And so... And then this is my little drawovers, where like I edited Stell's hair a bit, I edited some stuff with Diane. Stell, I kind of changed her proportions around a lot, gave her more of the bowl cutty thing that she has now. I normalized. I don't know what that means. I don't know how to fix cutting out.
I don't think you can.
But I don't know. I wonder if we cut out in the recorded version. That's a question.
Because it's not recording. Oh. It's not recording like off of your computer. It's still recording.
Oh, I see. So yeah, anyway, here's Rios. I made his legs a little bit smaller, and then Fixa is fine. This came out pretty close to where Gamoon ended up. I changed a bunch of stuff on him around, and I made his head more Gamundi, and it took away his Steven Universe smile. And then I just did some stuff to iron it here. So that's neat. Here's some other stuff, like here's a big file that actually has a lot of the final assets for...
Yeah, the stream's super laggy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's check how many frames am I dropping. I'm dropping 75 frames. 75% of frames.
That's significant.
Yes. How do I fix that, though?
Let's try killing the music.
I suppose. Not close. Oh, so I closed Chrome. Maybe that will have a signal. Probably not, because it never does. Go task here. Processes. CPU. Obviously mostly being used by OBS. This is exactly what you're tuning for. Then Steam, Illinois Steam. Still dropping, yeah, 74% of frames. I don't know why.
It's going to dropping that many. See if the number goes down.
Interesting. Interesting.
What? Not like completely crashing. Just kidding. Caption says Rios is ugly.
Rios came out better in the final art. I find that he is pretty cool looking in the final art. Have you know. My original drawings of him, he was much closer to looking like Fonzie. But we already had enough, like, slender duders that looked cool. So having someone with a big bulky build definitely set him apart from all the other ones. I guess that was one of the advantages of going to another artist, because they could do kind of approach things in a way that I normally wouldn't.
He says Rios needs more character development.
It has the best character He's just Lieutenant Surge.
Yeah, he's just Lieutenant Surge, man.
So just take all of the lore
Sorry.
from Pokemon about Lieutenant Surge. And that's it. Full character.
I think Rios has. I forget if Rios. I think Rios might be the least robust in terms of lore out of all the commanders right now, because he's made to be a very simple character. That's just like show up, punch stuff, be a nuisance, like a general just jerky nuisance. Whereas all the other characters have these very complex motivations. Rios is kind of just like a menace on the world, and nobody really wants him. And this is the big troublemaker, is what he is.
Need some more coffee. Everyone agrees Rio smash.
Rios smash.
And his arms are pretty built for it. Crazy.
The only guy that can just punch robots
It's true.
and just fight robots out while not being with other robots. That's how he recruits new robots. He gets into a big fight, and if his robots get destroyed, he just goes and finds another one, and he just beats the ever-living crap out of it. And then he'll take it for himself.
This is mine now.
It's claim it. Claimed I need this. Scrub. So seeing how the other commanders interact with somebody like Rios would be interesting. Because I guess he's like a smashy version of Ixa. And I'm sure she would look down on him greatly.
Probably.
But he wouldn't care. Because he'd just be like, who are you? Who are you? Go away. Actually, no, who are you? You're too short to punch.
Yeah. Epstein requests, or says we should put up a post asking for Commander fanfic.
Not a bad idea.
Do you really want fanfic though?
Seems like a great way to engage the fans. I want more fan art and fan fiction. Do.
Oh, it's so quiet now without the music.
I know, but I don't think the music actually helped. I mean, I don't think closing the music even helped, because we're still dropping 74% of frames, and it's really stupid. Mm.
You obviously just bring an Ethernet cord. Plug it directly into the internet? I don't know if that will actually help. Maybe the connection's really, really solid.
Because, I think there are Ethernet ports all around here, but yeah, I can't tell you why we're dropping 74.4% of frames.
That's your computer.
Is it?
Yep.
Interesting. Life is so hard. Maybe I'll have to buy more RAM. I don't know if that would help, though.
You need a better processor.
I have an i7.
Why?
That doesn't
No.
mean anything.
It's
helpful.
new and good. It's supposed to be a good processor.
Can you confirm that? Because it's not
I don't think
a high performance processor.
I don't think an i9 exists yet.
That's not how any of this.
Maybe it's just not built for this.
We have a request for Rios X Sonic. Ixa and the Golden Rings.
I don't want it.
Or at wall dogfighting with a two-tailed fox. I don't know, maybe
I
the
want-
Sonic Twitter will...
I want Rios fighting Cold Steel the Hedgehog.
Cold Steel? Is that someone's Hedgehog fanfic, or is that a real Hedgehog in
Dude,
Sonic?
Cold Steel the Hedgehog. How do you not know?
I don't know what I can say. I'm just not... I don't read
Not
a
up
ton
on
of...
the
I'm not...
lingo.
Yeah, I don't know the lore of Sonic fanfic, I guess.
Dude,
Characters or...
It's like it's
whatever.
almost as famous as Sonichu.
I don't know Sonichu either.
Really? I'm sorry that you haven't been exposed to the most awful parts of the internet.
This sounds probably okay. It sounds like not the worst.
You're missing out.
Am I missing out? I'm not sure I'm missing out.
Everybody's favorite draw.
I guess Etwall is now English? Not really English.
I always get confused, like, what the racial or ethnic equivalents of the Aegis world would be.
Some Etwall dialogue.
Well, I can't read that right now. I also have poor eyesight.
You should probably fix that.
But I think Etwell talks a little bit more like a very pomp and circumstance idiot than he would talk in, like, British. He'd just be like, let me think. Who would the equivalent celebrity to Etwall be? Because I kind of like envision him like...
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he'd be a little bit like Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, no. Would it be Matthew McConaughey in, like, all of his dumb love story movies, or like him in Kubo and the Two Strings?
Because, like, in Kubo and the Two Strings, he almost had, like, a Zap Brannigan to his voice.
That worked pretty well. I could see that.
It's you miners again.
Yeah.
Using your robots. Don't you have any idea how not fabulous you are? How non-magnificent?
Yeah, something like that.
How easily you can be crushed!
There you go.
So, yeah, I think that would be a little bit how an Etwall would speak.
Let's try to get to a place where we can stop. 'Cause
Yep.
We gotta stop soon.
Yep. You gotta stop soon, guys.
Soon being 10:30, stop the latest, which is probably more
Probably
like...
earlier than that.
Yeah, 'cause you gotta
have
pack
to stop
up.
in the next 5 or so minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have a friend coming in who needs to be picked up at the airport at about midnight.
Yeah. It's gonna be exciting. Need a coffee. I need a coffee for that.
Did you
McDonald's.
check if there's any chicken left in Jesse's refuse? Yeah, well, I guess if we could technically just eat Jesse, we would also be eating the chicken.
I don't think that would work out well.
I know like white meat. Has anyone here seen Cloud Atlas? Cloud Atlas is my favorite movie.
It tells you a lot.
It's a good movie. I liked it.
What's wrong with Cloud Atlas as a movie, Jesse? It's 6 movies.
What's good about Cloud Atlas as a movie?
There's so much in it that there's plenty of good parts.
Isn't that just Inception?
It's so dense. I guess Inception is almost like 4 movies, but not really. Cloud Atlas, it's like what?
Didn't Inception bring the bomb to like popular culture?
So
now we get it in every movie trailer.
It sucks though.
Oh man, great.
Bomb.
And then there was the time in Godzilla where they used it in the actual movie.
Bomb.
As the noise that the things made.
Oh, that was so stupid, dude.
Oh,
God,
Because that was the best
She's
movie
back.
of all time.
that movie sucked.
Godzilla, the new one.
Oh my god. How do you screw up mashed potatoes? I mean Godzilla. The answer is you kill off Bryan Cranston, your fucking A-list actor, in like the first half hour of the movie. That's how you make a bad movie. Is you get one of the best actors of all time and only put him in like 1/6 of the damn
And
movie.
keep what's his name, the shitter.
Yeah, you keep Kick-Ass, but you don't even let him
Yeah.
act. You just
keep
have him.
Kick-Ass, but you don't give him any lines that matter.
I still remember. This has never happened to me in a movie before, but when I was watching Godzilla in theaters, and like halfway or 2/3 the way through the
Oh,
movie,
you're handing that to me.
his character, Jesse Eisenberg's character, I don't even think it was Jesse Eisenberg actually, but Kick-Ass's character appears on screen, and I'm like, who is that? Should I know who that is? Like, he was the main character of the movie, and I did not recognize him. I had to think about who he was. It's like how to make a forgettable main character. It's like, I know for a fact that kid can act. But man,
I mean, can he?
he was great in Kick-Ass.
Yeah, but then Kick-Ass 2 happened.
He was also fine in Kick-Ass 2, but that was
Was
all the
he-
director's fault.
Was he fine in Kick-Ass 2?
I think he got a little bit too bulk to be believable.
He was unnecessarily bulky.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I also can't remember a single thing he said, as opposed to Kick-Ass 1 where I can remember everything he said.
Fuck you, Mr. Bitey!
Like,
That was also a problem with the writing, though. God, I hate that they destroyed that series. Greatest movie turned into worst sequel.
yeah. I think that... I won't say that Godzilla was better, but I will say that Kick-Ass 2 was the first movie I'd ever seen in theaters that made me want to walk out and ask for my money back.
Yeah, I would say
And I was
that
pretty sad that I was there with other people because
I was
would have
I was
otherwise.
keenly disappointed by Godzilla, but at least I got to see like the damn lizard kick ass at the end
I
and
guess
like
the
fight
thing
the
about
guys.
Godzilla for me was that, like, while I was very unhappy with it, I had lived through Godzilla 2000.
Oh man.
And so
The bar was set so low, whereas when we saw
I was
Kick
already
Ass,
expecting crap, whereas with Kick-Ass, the first
we
one
had
was
saw
really good.
great, and it's like, how do you screw up a second Kick Ass movie?
It's just
And-
more of the same, and then they did.
And then they like screwed it up really hard, and it's like,
Every
wow,
character was wrong.
they just got everything wrong.
And I'm very much hopeful that the same thing won't happen to Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think it'll be fine because the trailer was.
Quickly, let's check who the writer and director of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is. James Gunn is still there. So, but did they change out the writer for someone like completely incompetent?
I said
So
in theaters, Epstein, not overall. I can't ask for money back on something I see at home.
I've tried before. I definitely saw Looper. I did not pay for the DVD, but I felt ripped off at the end of that movie. Looper was pretty bad.
That was a weird.
You know what's
Wait.
worse than Looper?
Yeah, that was the one with what's
Because
his
Click
face.
is worse than Looper.
It's like Looper was, yeah.
It was with.
I wonder if is Click worse than Looper?
Click is an Adam Sandler movie.
Isn't Click basically Looper?
Yes, but it's an Adam Sandler movie.
Well, I'll give it to Looper had good acting. Josephine Gordon-Levitt was good. It had a good, solid like first half hour, like really good first half hour, and then the movie became not about time travel, but about telekinesis, and it felt like I was like bait and switched. Zephyr Workshop reviews movies on the Wednesday night stream.
A 10 out of 10 Pacific Rim.
Dude, Pacific Rim's so good.
Also 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Wah.
Well, no, Mad Max.
Oh, my
Fury
Max is real
Road.
good.
Also 10 out of 10 Real Steel. You'll start to sense a pattern really quick
Yes.
in how I review movies.
Yeah, really though.
These are all pretty good.
Real
I
Steel
enjoyed
was
Real Steel. I enjoyed Pacific Rim.
Real Steel was so like genuinely a darn good
I'm
movie.
just sad that there isn't a Real Steel 2 yet.
I forget what gives me hope. The guy who did Real Steel.
And
The-
Hugh Jackman both want to do another one.
Yeah, but there's something relevant because I think the new Power Rangers movie is actually going to be god awful.
Yes.
But the guy who wrote Real Steel did the screenplay, so maybe it will be good. Maybe it'll like some of that will shine through, but there's also an equal chance where they just like threw out everything that he wrote and had some, because like because that's the other thing. It wasn't him who just wrote the screenplay. He wrote the screenplay, and then they brought in the guys who did that movie Gods of Egypt to finish to like tie up the loose ends.
That's rough.
And that's like the biggest thing for me is like, how do these people get work? Because not only was that movie critically panned, it was like a box office bomb. Like I can understand
Well,
why.
and it was also like hella racist, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, and
Wasn't
everyone,
it all white people in Egypt?
yeah, and everyone was pissed off about it. It was like this irredeemable movie that nobody liked. I can understand how Michael Bay keeps coming back is because his stupid movies keep making like $500 quadrillion, even though they're god awful.
Epstein, we don't have to pay you if we kidnap you.
This is true.
Hypothetically.
But like, I don't know how people like the guys who wrote Gods of Egypt could ever get work again after making that movie.
And yet they did.
Yeah, really. I like tried to find their social media presence, but they have none. Like those two specific writers, they come in a pair. and I could not find any social media to lambast them. No, what I wanted to ask is if they plan on apologizing to everybody a year after the movie comes out, like the Dragon Ball Evolution guy had to.
So, the biggest question.
Yeah.
You had to choose between Real Steel, Pacific Rim, and the original Transformers.
The 80s Transformers
The
movie?
1980s animated Transformers.
That's
The-
not even fair.
I was-
that movie's so good.
That movie's really memorable, and like I
80s
still enjoy it now.
80s Transformers like actually changed the world.
Yeah.
It was that's the all-time classic. But yeah, then I would go 80s Transformers, Real Steel, then Pacific Rim.
Really? You
I
go
think-
Real Steel over Pacific Rim.
When I first walked out of Pacific Rim, I was like, I wish that were more like Real Steel. This is my reaction to it. On subsequent watch-throughs, I really like Pacific Rim.
I walked
But-
out of Pacific Rim and went, I really like this. Real Steel was great, but it was also just a boxing movie where they replaced the boxers with robots.
Oh, absolutely.
And whereas Pacific Rim felt
After Pacific Rim, I kind of felt like Pacific Rim. This was just Independence Day, but with robots.
well, yeah, it was, but it was a more serious Independence Day with robots, and that's an interesting.
I liked how hammy they were with certain aspects of it. I'm really worried about that in the sequel. Because like they gave all the characters like these really silly, outlandish names, like Stacker Pentecost. And I'm worried about the new director. It's gonna fly completely over his head what made the first one good. And he's gonna like make it a really serious, Godzilla-esque movie that'll be super dry and boring. And he'll put like one robot in the movie.
I would say that Mad Max is a completely different genre from Pacific Rim.
We can't
Real
compare
Steel, and
Mad Max
Transformers.
Fury Road
Like you
to
can't,
Pacific
you just
Rim.
can't do it. They're completely different. I would agree that I would say that Transformers was the original Transformers is still, but to this day, probably the best robot movie
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
It has like everything.
It's probably had the best.
And
It
more.
was probably the best robot movie to like air in theaters in America.
I would say it also had, I think it had the best cast, arguably.
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles and Leonard Nimoy are both in it. The guy who did Optimus's voice has been doing Optimus's voice ever since.
Yeah, really?
Like,
Peter Cullen.
One shall stand.
who killed the world.
I wish he weren't like a millionaire now, so he could continue to do Toonami promos. But it's probably like outside of his like hiring range.
Yeah.
Like he can't like tell us about how not to fear failure or something anymore because he's got that Michael Bay money.
I wonder how much he makes on those.
He probably makes a decent amount.
Do you think he makes less money than Shia LaBeouf?
He probably makes less money than Shia LaBeouf because no one
That's-
respects voice actors.
That's harsh.
But like,
Alright, so we probably because it
Yeah.
is now 6 minutes later than when we said we were going to end the stream.
yeah. So that will be.
Yeah, the lineup looks not done, but.
Well, yeah, no, it's not done, but yeah.
It seems
So
like an okay place to stop.
last week I actually continued drawing the day after and finished up that stele. So maybe next time I'll just make sure. Maybe when I finish this up, I'll make sure just to throw myself back up on stream and see how it
There you
goes.
go. So it'll be an impromptu stream.
Yeah, and do
Sounds
more,
good,
do
sounds
more
good.
impromptu streams. I should just like have my laptop streaming 24/7.
It's probably
That
too
way-
much streaming.
And that way, everyone can watch.
Probably unnecessary.
It'll pressure myself into doing work.
I'm not sure it will. I think it might just push you away because you don't want
I
people
think
to
it'll
know.
just make you use your laptop less often.
Maybe.
Or it'll destroy your laptop by burning through it. Given that you're dropping like 70% of frames.
Yeah, I still don't get why. But yeah.
We gotta call it. Thanks you guys for joining us again.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. I liked all the talking about movies and kind of bees again.
Kind of bees.
Kind of bees again. And then generally robots, which is awesome. Do you guys have anything to add or anything? Yeah, if you like something, tweet it at us. If you didn't, tweet it at us.
Let me see your Aegis fan art. Draw me doodles.
Yeah, do Aegis fan art. That'd be sweet. We'll share it, and it'll be super awesome. And yeah, hit us up on the Twitter, Facebook. Twitter, we're at _Zephyr Workshop. Yes, tell us something else you want us to stream.
Yep.
Thank you everyone who keeps coming back week after week. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys
In the future.
in the future.
All
Have
right.
a good one.
See you later. Oh yeah, how do I end this? Bum.